Welcome back. It's been a little while since I made a video. I've been extremely busy planning for my garden this year and getting some things done. And I've also been too angry to make a video. With everything going on, the Epstein files, that bitch Bondi, just all the chaos. I don't get scared. I'm not afraid. I'm not depressed. I've been through all of that a long time ago. Now I'm just angry. And I've mentioned before in another video to take that anger and use it constructively. So I've been busy. But I finally got the time to make another video. We all know what's going on, what everybody's talking about, everything going on here in the States and around the world, the Epstein files, everything that they talk about, the people implicated, the international consequences for everything that the regime is doing. And the repeating question is, what do we do now? What do we do? What do we do with all this? Well, I'm going to throw out some ideas today. Things I've been working on, things I've known about for quite a while. Part of my anger is from a moral injury to everything that's been happening and that I've known about for quite some time. For a very long time. About 2 decades now. Maybe a little bit more than that. Trying to warn people, being ridiculed and dismissed and mocked and told I'm paranoid. I'm not quite a conspiracy theorist. I just have keen pattern recognition, an intense study of history and geopolitical economics, and some inside information. So, I've got my trusty notes here today. I've got my drink. And hopefully this won't go on too long and I won't bore you to tears, and maybe you'll learn a little something or have something to ponder. Why is this happening? This has been happening for a long time. For a very long time. And I don't mean just here in the United States. Throughout world history, we've had horrible things happen to people. Wars, abuses, slavery, patriarchy, empire, imperialism, colonization, all of these things are part of a system. We have a systemic problem that is set up in such a way that allows these things to happen because we have these hierarchical structures and positions of power in the world, this world we live in, attract the worst kinds of people. And the system, in its corruption, even the most well-intentioned people can tend to be corrupted in such positions of power. Which is why I'm an anarchist and not a communist. Because I believe that hierarchical structures and authoritarianism do incredible damage, no matter the intentions behind them, no matter how well-intentioned. And along with capitalism as a structure, the greed. There's always been greed. There's always been psychopaths, sociopaths, and people with malignant narcissism who have sought out positions of power outside of, lineages and monarchies and et cetera, et cetera. We have a system. It is not broken. It is functioning as designed. But today we see the rot because it's in its end stages. So we see it. The veil is lifting. The truth is coming out. And their goal is to secure the cage before we can escape the system. That's why this is happening, because of these systems. Systems that are hierarchical, that put shitty people in positions of power, because shitty people look for positions of power, because of the failure of capitalism, end-stage capitalism, which breeds fascism, and patriarchy, imperialism, militarism, a total disdain for the environment. That's why this is happening. And it's extortion, these systems' extortion of all the absolute worst parts of human nature and glorifying that. We have lost our moral compass because of our own inflated egos, our own selfishness, our own greed, our own belief that our personal comfort should come at any cost to anybody else and the planet. That's how we get here. So, in a wider range, why is this channel called Sticks and Stones? Because when Einstein was asked, after they had detonated the nuclear bombs, what weapons would be used in World War III, he said he didn't know, but that World War IV would be fought with sticks and stones. In a previous video, I discussed a book by John Perkins called Confessions of an Economic Hitman. It is my belief that we are not headed for World War III. We have been in World War III. And we are headed towards World War IV. Why do I say that? What are the tools of World War III? Primarily, they are economic, fractional reserve banking, inflation, debt, basically getting us by the balls with capitalism. Secondly, it is technological, primarily information-based, which also feeds into capitalism, the advertising, the getting us to buy, Amazon, delivery, all of this stuff, the information, all of that is being surveilled. That's the biggest part of the technological issue, is the surveillance. And we see what's happening with Palantir and Peter Thiel, and what has happened in our own history, militarily, in our technological capabilities. Fact. The United States government had the ability to take pictures of car license plates from space since the 1960s. Ponder that information for a moment and ask yourself, how could we not know things? How could things then have been a surprise? The mass surveillance that was always there, that has increased in technological capability over the years. Look at Edward Snowden. Surveillance to keep tabs on a population, and then to turn around and also use that information for marketing and to make money for certain corporations, selling our data. So, economic, technological, specifically surveillance, and then, this affects information. The information that we're allowed to share and not share. The propaganda that is pushed, the truth that is hidden from us, the manipulation through propaganda and marketing. Weapons of mass distraction. That's World War III. It's been going on. The playing around with technology that we saw during the space race, and then now into the information age. The technological gains, the debt that we've accrued, being slaves to this system. The Epstein files, I believe it was Bill Gates that said that we are cattle. Might want to check on that one. Somebody said it. But that's how they see us. We are their debt slaves. We're pawns in their wars, cannon fodder, consumers. Things to be bought and sold. Our time, attention, our energy. And now we clearly see even our own children. World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. And I'm going to tell you how. Number one, when you work with an organization like EMS, the first rule is not to run into a scene and rescue everybody, no matter what. The first rule is safety, your own safety. I've mentioned this before. Safety first. Secure the scene, make sure it's safe, you're safe, you have your PPE, your gloves, everybody's okay to go in and do what you need to do. I've mentioned to you before, when you're on the plane and the oxygen mask comes down and they tell you to secure the mask on yourself first before assisting somebody else, like children or anybody next to you. Safety first. Your own safety. However you need to ensure that. Only you know yourself and what you need and what people around you may need. People in your home, your family. Safety first. And part of that safety is the mental clarity that I've mentioned before. Staying calm, not giving in to fear, being angry, but using that anger collectively. Not to sit around and continuously raise your blood pressure and not do a damn thing about it. Use it constructively. Staying calm. Mental stability is part of safety for your own self and those around you. Sobriety would be part of that. You're going to do whatever you're going to do. I'm not a prude, but I will say this. The mental clarity that comes along with sobriety is absolutely necessary at this point in time. No matter how badly you feel, how anxious, stressed, depressed, a drink or a drug, even weed, is not going to make it better. Being clear-headed, focused, stable, being safe with your own self, your own environment, and those immediately around you. Situational awareness. Safety first. So going on to the real deal, after that's taken care of. Community. Know your neighbors. Know who you are aligned with mentally, emotionally, spiritually, ideologically. Know where your allies are. And know where the people who are not your allies are. Know your community. Know who you can trust. And build with them. Plan with them. Build that reputation capital. Build that trust. Keep an eye on everything and everyone else. Build your community. Bake cookies. Take them around your neighborhood. Get to know people if you don't already. Know who you work with. Know who you go to church or temple or whatever, your hobbies. Know your community. Build your community. The people closest to you. Your friends. Keep an eye out. Build that community. Brainstorm together. Figure out what you need, what your concerns are, what resources you can pull together. Is somebody a gardener? Is somebody good at fixing things? Is somebody a teacher who's good with children? Who can do what? Grandma, does she sew things? Everything. Figure out what your abilities are, what resources you can pull together, things you can exchange, borrow, while building that reputation capital and that trust. Brainstorm. Talk it out. Come up with your own plans. Community. We need social safety nets for everything else that is inevitably coming. Not if, inevitably. Action. What do we do? What can we do that is going to be the biggest blow? And here I am again, repeating myself, and I apologize. However, number one, we need to hit them economically. That's the only language they speak other than power or fear. Instilling fear or their fear of everything else. Us. Consequences. Becoming powerless. Their stuff, the thing they get off on the most is the power. And they're using it now primarily economically. That's what has us by the balls. That's why I said, and I will continue to say, drop the dollar. Drop the dollar. Number one. Biggest thing we could do. The means of this. We talk about strikes and boycotts. We need to do it. But we need to boycott every fucking one. Every fucking one. Stay local. Amazon. We know they're assholes. Fuck them. Target. We know they're assholes. Fuck them. Home Depot. Fuck them. Walmart. Fuck them. You know these companies, these corporations. You know. Starve the beast. Fuck them. Go local. Make your own shit. Repair the shit you have. Figure something else out. Cancel your subscriptions to Amazon. Fuck them. Fuck Bezos. You know who the big ones are. Boycott them. Blacklist them. Be done with it. Starve them to death. Drop the dollar. Boycott. Force cash. A lot of these places, they don't want cash anymore. Too bad. Find the people that do. Use it. Less surveillance. That way. Less trackable. Cash is king. There's not much of it physically compared to the amounts that exist digitally, that are imaginary. Use physical cash. Force them to use it. If they don't, if a company refuses to do it, fuck them. Cash. Take it out of the banks. Moving on to the next one. Fuck the big banks. Take your money out, keep it some in cash, and put the rest in a credit union if you have to. Invest in supplies. Invest in skills, in learning relevant shit. Not a master's degree, not an MBA. Wiring, plumbing, farming, gardening, whatever. Legitimate skills. That's what we should be investing in. Speaking of investing, take it out of the stock market. Fuck Pam Bondi and her Dow 50,000 and shove it up her ass. Shove it up all their asses. Elon Musk, all of these people, Apple, Tesla, all of these stocks. Do you know how high The stocks have been rising for weapons dealers, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, those types of people over the last few years. Palantir, fuck them. Take it out. Invest in skills, in learning, in yourself, going to doctor's appointments that you need to get done while you can. Maybe gold and silver, equipment, supplies, seeds, anything else. The stock market ain't for us. Even for retirement. Do you honestly think you're going to get it? Do you think if you get any amount, it's going to be worth anything? Stock market ain't for regular people. That's not a measure for how well the economy's doing. That's a measure for how well these rich assholes are doing. Look, I'm getting angry again. Fuck the stock market. Gambling with imaginary value, with imaginary numbers. It's not real. I've known for years what companies would be best to invest in, and I haven't done it. Because those companies that are making the money, that'd be like the most corrupt, immoral thing that I could do. Why would I do that? They're assholes. Invest in Lockheed Martin? Invest in weapons? Invest in Elon Musk, who's in the Epstein files, who we've known for years is a fucking fake and an idiot and a narcissist and an asshole. Chauvinist? Invest in that crap? In these people? Nah. Get out. Don't pay your taxes. I don't know how much trouble I'm going to get in saying that. I'm not an attorney. I'm not providing financial advice. This is strategy. Maybe they'll get me. I don't know. I'll have to ask my attorney. Don't pay your taxes. Don't tell them you're not going to pay it. Don't fucking pay it. Just don't. Don't do it. Do you want it to go to fund DHS? Do you want it to go to fund ICE? Do you want it to go to fund these concentration camps? Do you want it to go fund the biggest military budget that hasn't done an audit in forever for these fucking wars? Do you want those taxes to go to Israel? I have no problem with Jews. I'm not anti-Semitic, but fuck Zionism. Palestine forever. Do you want your money going to that bullshit? If you have the money, if you have the resources, keep it local. Keep it local. Give that money to the fire department. Give that money to whatever projects your town, your city, your county, your state needs. Fuck the rest of it. And I'm sorry I'm cursing so much. Look, you can see why I haven't made a video in 2 weeks, because I'm pissed. Yeah, they sure did pick a bad time to drop this on Generation X women in menopause. Anyways, yeah, so number one, hit them economically. Do whatever you want for an alternative. Cash. Pennies actually have value. Isn't it interesting that they're trying to get rid of them? Pre-1982 is 95% copper, I believe, and 5% zinc. And it has a standard weight. We already know it's American currency. I mean, hey, do your gold and silver. Use coupons. Use Pokemon cards. I don't know. Now would be a good time to look into time banks. similar systems based on meritocracy, come up with your own local one. I've been working on a system for years that I will soon be launching and making a video about. Coupon system. So I don't get in trouble with Secret Service who's in charge of money, and if you fake whatever. Yeah, no. It's a coupon. Local. There's time banks. Barter, trade, whatever, man. And I mean, every town's different. Every community's different. This is the part where the main subject and goal is get off the dollar. Screw the banks, screw the stock market, screw taxes, come up with anything else. Now go for it, brainstorm. Ask your kids. Ask your kids in their 20s and their teens and your preteens. They'll come up with some crazy stuff, but they're creative. Look what happened in Nepal. Fuck them economically. Number one. Number two, the technological issue. We need to go old school, retro, analog. We need to disappear and go dark. Now, I know we can't feasibly do that 100%, and I wouldn't recommend doing it instantaneously either, because they notice that. They'll look for that. Start cutting back on social media. Set a timer. It's already wasting your time, making you anxious, doom scrolling, everything else. You know the negative side effects. We know how it affects your brain. We know how it's socially isolating. Go outside and touch grass and, set a timer. 30 minutes in the morning, an hour at night, whatever you want to do. Limit social media. Get off Snapchat and Instagram. What are you, 12? Why? Same thing. Limit YouTube. I mean, whatever. Set limits. Find content that's relevant. Don't waste your time. Don't let them keep seeing what you're seeing. If you do, screw around with them. Look at random shit. Feed them false information. Like, why are you watching a video on cars if you're a 25-year-old woman who, likes pink and teddy bears? I don't know. Just throw them off. Limit your time. Go out in the real world, talk to your neighbors, touch grass, and learn some skills. Limit social media. GPS. Here's a fun one. This is one I like to point out, especially to younger people. Get you one of these. It's about $50. It's expensive. You can get them at a truck stop. Has every state, everywhere. You can get local ones too. I found some at Walmart a while ago that are laminated. This is like some weird laminated type thing. You can write on it with a dry erase marker. Learn how to read a map. Screw your GPS. Forget it. We don't need that. Back in my day, we had to read maps. And then when MapQuest and all that came out, we had to print out the directions. I mean, it can be done. People circumnavigated the world way back in the day without GPS. They used the stars, all of these things. New skill to learn. Maps, not that hard to read. Learn how to read them. Maps are great. Replace your GPS. They know where you're going. You become dependent. And I know I'm bitching, and I know I'm cursing, and a lot of this is what I'm trying to promote is your own independence, and the independence that you can contribute to for your own community and those around you. We've become too soft. We've become too comfortable. We've become too dependent. We need to become independent if we're going to survive what is coming. Independent of these systems, but connected with our community and connected with the best parts of ourselves and our humanity, in defiance of this bullshit in this system. Independence and community. They can actually go hand in hand. Independence from the system. So, going analog. Remember old phone lines? You know, the kind that was attached to the wall in the kitchen with the long cord and, you know, that. That is important. Some people still have landlines, but they have the wireless kind that sits on the cradle that has to be plugged in. Did you know most of the time landlines with the traditional style phone with the cord, not the wireless, whatever, will still work even when the power's out? The ones that sit on the cradle and whatever, those don't. But the old kind do. And that's part of the thing with analog and traditional stuff, old stuff, retro stuff. They used to build things better. Things that lasted. Things that were simple. We have overcomplicated things. We have been victimized by planned obsolescence. A lot of the things made today are junk, and they break, and there's plastic, and it's just crap. They used to make things that lasted, that worked. Find those things. Use those things. Figure them out. I had a fun trip this week. Met a nice gentleman in the parking lot of my local grocery store and bought a 1950s Remington typewriter off Facebook Marketplace for $60. It needs minor repairs, and I got to go get the ribbon for the ink. That's just the beginning. CDs, tape cassettes, those MP3 players that you have to pay for Spotify. There's a reason why they've pushed the technology to evolve so much, so quickly, so that you have to keep buying the next new thing. Why they manipulate us with capitalism and advertising and marketing so that we can keep up with the Joneses and have the nicest, newest thing. You can fix some of this older stuff. Some of this new stuff, it breaks, that's it. It's trash. Get the old stuff. Got all this Teflon, chemical stuff, and the pans, man, cast iron. All these old ways, because we thought they were lame, or it took too long, or it didn't look cool, are actually the most functional, most valuable. Paper! Yes, using trees is sad. We want to save the earth. Ideally, we could be using hemp instead of trees. But the writing with your hands, knowing cursive, being able to write in cursive, read cursive. You know, if you can read cursive, you can read historical documents. Interesting that they're not teaching the kids this today. When you write something versus when you type something, you are getting it into your brain more efficiently. When I was in school, college-y stuff, I would take notes very quickly, messy during class. After class, I would take the notes and I would rewrite them nice and pretty and clean and concise. And then I would take that sheet of paper and I would slip it into a page protector and I would put it in a binder. And then at the end of the semester, I could sell it or keep it for future reference if I wanted to. It was that precise and pretty and clean. And it helped me memorize and learn better, more efficiently. Getting my ideas out with typing is much faster. However, I get it down better when I write it. If my computer crashes, it's gone. I've had that happen to me while writing a major paper before. God, that's not fun. These things break. This stuff stays. The paper stays. Worst comes to worst, you can burn it, compost it. I don't know. Shred it up for animal, but I don't know. You can do something with it. If the power goes out, your Kindle, your laptop, your everything else is nothing better than a door stopper. Unless you can dissect it. That's a separate subject. Go analog. Seriously. Do as much as you can. Go dark. Don't become dependent on devices. Don't become distracted, wasting time. Keep your digital footprint limited. Find alternative ways, simpler ways that work more, I don't know, responsibly? That last longer, that are more efficient, ultimately, and less wasteful. So go analog, disappear digitally as much as you can. Take your time doing it. Don't do it instantaneously. All at once, that's a trigger. The next part, get organized. And yes, organize the people. Let the left get organized. Organize your stuff. Spring is coming. It's the perfect time for spring cleaning. Get rid of your junk that's weighing you down. Maybe you can sell it on Facebook Marketplace, like that dude with the old typewriter. Maybe you can donate it. If you want to, you can save the paperwork to get a tax write-off if you're going to do all that. But you're giving it to a good cause with somebody who could use it and it'd be beneficial. Get organized. Get rid of your crap that you don't need. Clean up your space. Figure out what you have and put it in places where you can find it when you need it. Part of being organized physically helps mentally. It reduces anxiety when you're not running around looking for the scissors, because you know where they are. They're in the second drawer down in the kitchen with the measuring spoons. I don't know. That's where mine are. And put things in bins, man. I love bins and baskets and things like that. You can stack them. You can put them up in a shelf, in a closet, whatever. Important things that I'll talk about next, put them in a bin. If you need to grab them in a hurry to go somewhere, just grab the whole bin and throw it in the car. Beach stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, prep. So if you get yourself organized, cleaned up, you know what you need, you have it, you've gotten rid of the useless stuff, you've made space, whatever. Get your prep stuff together. That's its own subject. That would take me forever to explain to you. So I'm not going to do that today, maybe another video. If not, do your own research. You know what you need. I don't know where you live. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if it's just you, if it's a family, or whatever. You figure out what you need. There are basics. Obviously, water. That's always good to have on hand. Water purification stuff. Food. Medications you'll need. Vitamins, electrolytes. Clothes. What seasons? I mean, light, batteries, flashlights, energy, power, whatever. Heating, cooling. You know what you need. Get your supplies. That's another video. Find other videos on YouTube. Other creators. There's stuff online. There's stuff in the library. There's classes. Part of what I would suggest too for being prepared is have some basic medical first aid knowledge. Get CPR certified. There's places that do it, the American Heart Association, there's different ones. Find out what's in your area. Ask your local community college. Ask your fire department and local EMS. First aid, CPR, know what you'd need at home. Are you diabetic? Do you need specific medications? Is there anybody in your home with any of those types of needs? Do your research on being prepared. I would highly suggest this year, whether you've ever done it or not, is learn how to plant some food. Learn how to collect water and purify it and store it. Learn how to distill it. Food, water, safety, all of these things. But everybody should grow a garden this year. Heirloom, non-GMO seeds. The price of food is rising, and it's a good way to connect with your community, maybe just your household, and to touch grass and be outside, off of screens, off of the news, out in the sun, in the dirt. It's a good skill to have. Learn what you can grow that will last a long time. Squash lasts forever. What's seasonal? What you can grow in your environment, your temperate zone, whatever. Learn how to preserve it. Learn some canning. I mean, tomatoes, everybody goes nuts with tomatoes. Learn how to can them, make homemade pasta sauce, whatever. This has been a long video. I will continue on some of the subjects further eventually, but that's basically what I want to say. Why is this happening? These horrible systems and horrible people. How we've already been in World War III. And how we'll win World War IV is by doing these types of things. Hitting them economically. Boycotts. Strikes. Real ones. Setting up the social safety networks that'll sustain people in the communities to go through these things, to be able to do these things and become independent from these systems. Changing how we use technology or just cutting it out. Being organized in your mind, in your home, with your things, and preparing, however that looks for you. Another part of preparing is getting a hold of your health. I know I mentioned mental health and stability as part of safety. But part of preparedness is physical health. I know there's people that can't do certain things. They're limited by age or disability or medical conditions. They need to be taken care of. We have to build the strength of our community to take care of the most vulnerable, especially the children, the disabled, the sick, and the elderly, people who are homeless, people with mental health conditions, substance abuse issues, and the foreigners who maybe don't speak English very well or understand these systems, who might be scared. We need to build up our mental resilience, but also our physical resilience. Move, exercise. I don't mean just going to the gym. That's kind of helpful. But practical, functional exercise. Can you work outside? Can you go for hikes? Can you lift things, not just weights? Can you carry stuff, build things, move? Build up your physical strength and ability and agility, flexibility, endurance. Take care of yourself. Address any medical concerns, even if they're minor, like getting new glasses or refilling a prescription or getting your contacts or ensuring that you have insulin for yourself or those in your community that may need it. That you have the first aid. That you have the trust in your community to form community watches, community defense networks. Learn how to talk to each other safely and securely. Come up with your own languages. Thanks for sticking with me this long. I do apologize, and I hope that I'm not making videos this long in the future. I will go into more depth in some of these subjects. But this is an answer, an idea, food for thought. We can do this. You can do this. Get to work. And tell me how your building, your organizing, your community is growing. I hope to catch you next time.